started laughing. Hey, happy people, what's up? I'm Jordan.
And I'm Joelle, and you're watching A Double Dose of Entertainment.
We're here to give you all the latest entertainment news, so let's jump right into our hot topics of this week.
Yeah, we actually have 3 hot topics this week like we do every week on A Double Dose of Entertainment. But our last topic, we're going to have a special guest come on the show, Beairshelle, who is the host of The Minority Report. We'll be coming on to talk about a topic that's kind of related to both Double Dose as well as The Minority Report. So that'll be very interesting.
Yeah, that's why we kind of have a little bit of a different setup going on here, but I kind of like it.
Yeah.
So our first hot topic of this week has to deal with Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, she actually got flower bombed at a red carpet event. This was about a week and a half ago.
Right.
She was giving an interview while she was on the red carpet, and a woman rushed up to her and poured a bag of baking flour on her head. So she was covered from head to toe in flour. And it was kind of a obviously controversial issue because it could have been anything. It could have been something a lot more dangerous than just flour.
Yeah, and at first Kim was actually pretty cool with it. She joked around a little bit saying like, oh, I told my makeup artist I needed more powder anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But then she actually got a little bit more serious, and she might be now pressing charges, and she wants to take legal procedures to make sure that this lady, something happens to her, that she's arrested or has to take, you know, some type of procedure against her.
The lady was actually arrested right on the spot, and Kim, as you said before, wasn't originally going to press charges, but she is now thinking about kind of going a little bit further with this issue because she does feel that it could have been more dangerous than it actually ended up being.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll have to let you know where this story continues and where it leads on with Kim. There are plenty of videos online of the whole flower bombing incident, so if you want to look online, you can definitely see those. And there's actually one website that we know for sure has a video, which is PETA's website.
Yeah, and that kind of moves us into our next topic is Khloe Kardashian pulling her support from PETA. As we know, a couple years ago, Khloe was she was doing a campaign for PETA where it says fur with a question mark, I'd rather go naked. A lot of the celebrities were doing that, but because of the PETA supporting Kim Kardashian being flower bombed, and they actually put a link on their website to a video of it happening, Khloe has pulled her support. Right. Also because the woman who endorsed Khloe's campaign and kind of put the whole campaign of Khloe Kardashian with PETA together is the sister-in-law of the woman who flower bombed Kim.
Oh, okay.
So there's
it's a
definitely
whole little triangle going on there.
Yeah, there's a family relationship, and not only relationship but also support for this issue.
And actually, Khloe has had some problems of her own in this past week. So not only is she standing up for her sister, but she's also dealing with some rumors and stuff on her own. Star magazine actually put out their issue for this week's weekly magazine. And big on the front cover is a picture of Khloe and Lamar. They're walking together, but they look kind of disinterested in each other. And it says the end. It just simply says the end. And then there's a follow-up story inside saying that Khloe and Lamar are thinking of getting a divorce.
Yeah, and Khloe's, you know, as you said before, Khloe is kind of standing up for herself, saying, no, my marriage is perfectly fine. Right. We're not getting a divorce. We're not thinking about getting a divorce. You know, obviously their marriage is playing out in front of the cameras with not only Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but also the Khloe and Lamar show. They have their own show on E! And of course, as with any marriage, they're seen arguing frequently or kind of bickering a little bit back and forth, but that's with any type of relationship.
And Khloe actually came out and said, she did tweet a little bit about it. It wasn't anything serious. She actually said, you know what, I'm used to these rumors. People are going to talk. I know what my relationship is, and if people are going to say stuff, well, then that's on them.
Yep. And we're going to get ready to move into our next hot topic.
Yes.
So we would definitely love to welcome Beairshelle onto A Double Dose of Entertainment, who is the host of The Minority Report, to give us a little bit of her opinion on our next hot topic. And our third hot topic of this week is something that, as we said before, kind of deals with both Double Dose and The Minority Report. So we would like to welcome Beairshelle to our show, who is the host of The Minority Report. And our third hot topic deals with the movie The Hunger Games, which came out last weekend in theaters.
It actually did. A lot of people read the book. There's a lot of fans everywhere read The Hunger Games. People are going crazy. So many people that I know purchased the showing tickets. So many people not only read the book, but are very excited to go and see the movie.
Yes,
or saw the movie.
Yeah, there was a couple of things that are kind of controversial that came
Aren't
with
there
the
always?
movie.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't there always?
Exactly. And this time dealing with racial issues.
Right.
Lenny Kravitz and Amanda Stenberg were both cast to play two pivotal roles in the movie of The Hunger Games. But their casting did not come without some type of controversy. And this controversy was dealing with the fact that they are African American.
Right. It clearly states in the book that Suzanne Collins wrote, she gives a description that both characters have dark skin. So in other words, they're black. And backlash was received by some of the Hunger Games fans, especially through Twitter, that they didn't think that these...
Like it's the main outlet. It always is.
That they felt like they shouldn't have been black, that it took away from the movie. Mm-hmm. So tweets were posted and people said various things, and I don't understand why they didn't know it was black if you read the book.
Yeah.
You knew what the characters were supposed to look like.
Yeah, so they someone compiled all the tweets on a Tumblr account.
Okay.
And these
good for them.
Yeah.
Taking that initiative. Got a lot of hits on your Tumblr that week, I'm sure.
And some of the tweets kind of included things that said, Rue in the book is black and in the movie as well, and Rue ends up dying at the end of the movie. I didn't read the books. I didn't see the movie.
I don't know the movie. I didn't know, but I actually learned about it through the controversy. I'm like, what is the Hunger Games? Like, why is it such a big deal?
Yeah, and someone tweeted and said, not to be racist, but when I found out Rue was black, her death wasn't as sad to me.
Yeah. I mean, as someone who has, obviously you touch upon minorities in your show, and you're a communications major here at Loyola. So as someone who has touched upon not only these issues, but also is a big, you like to deal with media.
Right.
What do you feel about these tweets and comments that were made?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, it's kind of saddening when you hear something like that someone doesn't feel as emotional or touched by a death because the character, this isn't in real life, this is just a movie, but because the character is black. I don't understand really, obviously I didn't read the book, so I don't know what the character was intended to be by the author, but I think it's very odd that people are so emotional about someone's skin changing. Like, I'm sure the character and what they did in the book and whatever their main plot or whatever that is, that it's still the same essentially. It's just this person or these two characters are black. So I think it's weird. I think it's sad, but it also re-highlights again a lot of the race issues that we're seeing, especially this week with Trayvon Martin, and then to come to this, it's kind of like a blowout of racial issues. Yeah. And I don't know where it's all coming from, but it's I won't say that it's nice to see it, but it's very enlightening in a sense to see when many people are talking about living in a post-racial society and that everything is kumbaya. Obviously, it's not. This is just a movie. The Trayvon Martin thing is a real life case, but.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think that a lot of people, like you said, we live in a post-racial society. We have a black president now. That everyone thinks that just because President Obama was elected, that now racism is gone. In my opinion, especially in the media, racism is more apparent than ever. And this is clear proof that people still have racist views and are not afraid to show them.
Right. I think it's interesting that people aren't afraid to let their opinions be known. I mean, of course, years and years ago, Jim Crow laws and things like that, you knew where everyone stood. You had blacks and you knew where they stood. You had whites and you knew where they were coming from. And then of course you had your mixture, Hispanics, Asians, Indian, you had everyone, but you knew exactly where each person stood. Now, of course, we know racism present. I feel like I would hope it's not always going to be here, but I think it's kind of inevitable, especially in this country. And now when you think you stand somewhere, you think this author thought that, and the casting directors thought they could put black actors in it and thought it would be no problem.
And you know what?
And it's not.
I think another thing that's interesting is, like, if you go back to The Help, that was always an issue with what black actors and actresses, what roles they can play. This isn't particularly a role that's set out like it's the typical minority African-American role. And this is kind of something that at least minorities have been asking for. Like, put me in a movie where I'm not playing the typical role. Make me just an actor. And now that you have two actors or actresses that are doing that, society cries out, nope, sorry,
can't do that.
And it's one of the only movies that have two black actors as main roles that have has grossed so much money in the box office. The day before the movie came out, last Thursday, they had on the Today Show that Fandango, the website where you could pre-buy your movie tickets, was selling 10 tickets per second.
And that's
the day the movie, the day before the movie came out.
Right.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And this movie made so much money. Finally, a movie that stars 2 black actors is making the amount of money that other movies like The Notebook and things like that usually make. And now you get this type of reaction.
One thing I will say is kudos to the author and the casting directors for keeping them black, because not all the time would they have stayed black. In the book, they might have been black, but I know like even certain topics in the health weren't touched upon in the movie because they wanted to sell more money. So I think it's a good thing that they kept it. Yeah.
I forget which action hero movie came out. I can't remember off the top of my head, but in Green Lantern, I think it is. I might be making that up.
Yeah.
But in the cartoon and original, it's the character's black. The main protagonist, the savior of all people, is black.
Angela Bassett is in that, right?
I think she may or may not.
Yeah.
I think she is, yeah. And then in the movie, it's not.
Yeah.
So it happens a lot. And like you said, I do commend them for doing that, but I want to question whether or not it'll be done again.
Yeah,
because look at the backlash. It's
Is it worth it?
Yes.
I mean, they made this money this weekend, but usually #1 movies like that, like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, like we were saying, continue to make that amount of money. It'll be interesting to see this week how much money this movie still brings in. People are either going to go and see it to add to the controversy and put more tweets out.
It could help though.
Or or they're going to just say, you know what, they were black. I didn't know that they were black. I don't like that they were black. I'm not going to see it.
Yeah,
I just want to know what makes it different.
Yeah. Yeah.
What makes it? If they said it was Lenny Kravitz and he couldn't act,
but everyone that I've talked to that has seen the movie has said that Lenny Kravitz was excellent in the movie. They say that both of them.
Now that's actually shocking to me.
Yeah. They said that both of the actors played their role to a T. They said they really did stick to the book as much as possible, which is surprising for a book turned into a movie.
Yeah.
And they said that they were great. And like you said before, kudos to the person who kind of compiled all these on a Tumblr account to say, look, this is what is happening. And not only has that happened, but almost every Twitter account that has tweeted these racist tweets has either been locked and put on private or has since been deleted.
Which then brings back the point, are they actually unafraid to make the statements?
Yeah. I think they're not afraid to make the statements. I think they're afraid of what other people are going to say. I think they tweeted it, thought no one would remember it, just put it out there. But you have to, again, with social media, you have to be aware of every single little thing you post. You have to.
Yeah. I definitely agree with everything that you guys have said. But thank you so much for coming on our show and kind of having this discussion that we don't really get to have so much on this show.
We'll have the switch around when we talk about Trayvon. I had these girls on my show, so it'll always be great to have you guys.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Shelly.
again.
We're going to move on with the rest of our show.
Yeah.
Our obsessions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's good. Okay. So as with every week here on Double Dose of Entertainment, we of course are going to bring you our obsessions. We do one obsession each, and then we do one together. My obsession for this week is actually the color red. We did, like we mentioned last week, we did the dance show. And we danced to all of Beyonce, and we actually had to wear all black with a little bit of red. And so for the occasion, I painted my nails red, then I changed my phone cover back to my red case. I actually have a Nook, and my case is red, and I've been carrying that around with me all this week. And I always liked the color, but just this week I've been wearing it a lot more. So my obsession this week is the color red.
And my obsession for this week is Instagram. It's another form of social media, various forms that we now have. And Instagram, you can take a picture of either yourself or something that you see that you like, post it on Instagram. You have friends just like you have friends on Facebook or followers on Twitter. It's kind of a cross between Facebook and Twitter, where you post pictures, but then people can also comment and like and things like that. And I just really like it. It's a really different kind of fun way to share your personal life with other people.
Yeah, and we actually have our obsession together. Today, we are shooting the show. It's March 29th. Our birthday is April 29th. So we only have 4 more weeks of being teenagers before we turn 20 years old. So our obsession this week is our birthday countdown. Last year we got better, because last year we started counting down with 100 days left till our birthday. It was actually the same day that William and Kate got married, so they had countdowns in the news and things like that. So that's how we got the 100-day countdown. But this year we're just starting with a month. So now we have 4 weeks until our 20th birthday.
And I think that pretty much does it here on A Double Dose of Entertainment. Of course, you can keep up with us in multiple ways on Facebook at facebook.com/JordanandJoelleOnline.
Twitter, you can tweet to us or just simply follow us on Twitter at Jordan and Joelle.
And you can follow us every week on the radio on WLOY on Friday nights from 7 to 9 p.m.
And of course, if you just can't get enough with all of those mediums, we have our very own website, JordanandJoelleOnline.com.
Yeah, that does it for us here on A Double Dose.
Yeah, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Joelle.
And this is A Double Dose of Entertainment.